What's good, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, music business, and music production. If you love any of the previously mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. So we are back. Shout out to LW on being first. That's dope. So yeah, it's Friday night and we're about to dig into some questions as we always do. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know what you do. And we'll get this thing started, man. I'm here to be an open book for the next, I don't know, however long. I always say like 45 minutes or an hour, and then it ends up going longer than what I say. So I'm gonna just stop saying a time limit. But no, it'll probably definitely be like an hour tops. We're gonna see if we can hold to that. So yeah, let me know what y'all up to, man. It's the weekend. What do y'all have planned? Are y'all working? Are y'all going out? Are you going to sleep? Like, what's going on? What's good? Yeah. So apparently I'm on here. I'm on here with y'all. Y'all know how we do. Wednesdays and Fridays, we go live and we answer questions. LW, I want to hear the rest of submissions from last week. Yo, we gotta do another one. I'm not doing them tonight. But let me know in the comments or in the chat if y'all want to do another live critique, another round of live critiques next Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. What's up, Drina from Lancaster, South Carolina, singer learning how to produce now. That's what's up. Learning how to produce is dope. I feel like learning how to do anything outside of what you already do is dope. Like if you can do multiple things, I feel like, I don't know, you increase your value. It's like producers learning how to mix and master, or even learning how to sing or write. Excuse me. I feel like if you can add more skills to, you know, what you do, you're able to monetize more things. You're able to create more streams of income, and you become more valuable to the people that you work with, your clients. Especially, like, I know for sure on the TV and film side, if you can do multiple things, they love you for it. As long as you're good at it. You got to be good, but they love it because if they need a song, they can hit you up. If they just need an instrumental, they can hit you up. You know, you can kind of be a one-stop shop. So I think it's super dope. So that's dope, man. Hopefully that journey's going good, and hopefully it'll be fruitful. But yeah, we had some good submissions last week. I don't even think I made it like halfway through. It was people still submitting late. Like I think people were like getting the email like a week late. Like I had people submitting stuff like yesterday. It's like this was definitely last week. What's up, Alavon? Do you find that instrumentals land more placements versus songs with vocals? I guess it's kind of biased because I've been doing a lot of instrumental work versus full songs. So to me, it would appear that way, but I don't think so. I think there's just as many opportunities for songs as there are instrumentals. So I don't know. I there's a place for both of them. I guess maybe if I had to pick one, I would say maybe instrumentals, just because there's a lot of like reality shows and like shows on streaming networks where it's just a lot of background music being used. So you'll hear more instrumental background music being used versus somebody singing through a show where people are talking. Like that's just not a normal thing. To have full songs underneath people talking. Like you just don't see that. So if I had to pick one, maybe I would probably say you'll find more instrumentals. But yeah, but that's not to say there's no opportunities for full songs, because there's plenty of opportunities for full songs. So yeah, that's an interesting question. Drina, listen, I'm trying to submit music to Insecure and Disney. That's what's up. Shooting big. Y'all heard Disney is like, I heard Disney's kind of tough to get into. Like, they camp is like on lock. I literally I had one opportunity come across my table for some Disney stuff, and they said the same thing. They was just like, yo, this is rare, but we gonna shoot for it. And it didn't happen, but yeah, like, Disney's not like that kind of company where you like, I don't know, like you find the music supervisor for Disney and then just like hit them up. Like, they were, I don't know, like, I just feel like they have like a team, not just a team, but just, I don't know, however they do their music, it's just really, really hand-picked and curated, like, to the T, I feel like. And I'm like, I may be wrong, but yeah, I don't even know if I have any friends that like have Disney placements. So that's interesting. And now it makes me want to like go look up a bunch of Disney credits and like go find people, just because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like a challenge. But shout out to the new people coming in, man. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know what you do. We here answering questions live. We're talking about music production, music licensing, music business, and honestly anything else y'all want to talk about concerning business, whatever. Artistry, being a producer, building a business as a producer, entrepreneur, all of that stuff. Let's see. Insecure is a dope show though. For music, like, I don't know, like Issa and like her team, man, they really love indie artists, indie music, and they be curating like some super dope stuff, man. Shout out to them. Like, they're super dope. LW, how many placements do you need to make a living? There's no answer. I get that question all the time. So do my friends. But there's no answer. Because it's so range and payment. Like, it and then there's so many lanes in music licensing, right? So like, if you're trying to, you can do just instrumental background cues. You probably gonna need a lot of those. Or you could just focus on commercials. You probably don't need as many commercials as the instrumental background cues to make decent money. But like, that's it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different approach. Or you could be an artist, like trying to sync your stuff and partner up with brands and shows and things like that. But there's just no number. The best advice I can give you is shoot. Just get as much quality music in the right hands as possible, and then pay attention to the numbers, and just keep replicating what's working, and just build from there. Because it's really like, man, it's no easy answer to that. It's different for everybody. What's up, Horace? Welcome to the Ustream. So today in Apple news, I guess the new iPad Pros. I don't know if y'all are Apple people or not, but they just went on pre-order. I've heard two rumors from two credible resources that they're going to be bringing Logic Pro and Final Cut Pro to the iPad Pro. Kind of excited about that. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I ordered mine. I pre-ordered my Pro. That joint ain't gonna be here till like June, July, maybe next year. I don't know. Apparently they're having a shortage of chips or something like that, or manufacturing chips. So I don't know. We wait again, apparently. Alafan says, how do you feel about placing records in film and TV outside of the US? I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think, you just know who you're working with, especially if it's in another country. I have music. I sent music, like non-exclusive stuff, to some library in Africa somewhere. They reached out. It was like not a non-exclusive deal, so I was like, that's cool. These are tracks that are in multiple baskets anyway, so why not milk them and get the most out of it and see what happens. Like, shoot, the joints may blow up over there, you never know. So man, like, I'm the type of person where it's like, I will try, as long as it's legit and I'm not getting scammed. Like, I will try anything at least once and see how it works, because you never know. Like, you just be sitting there like trying to guess. I wonder if this will work. So I say try it and see what happens. Yeah, try it, see what happens, and then if it works, it worked, and then you can do it again. You can try it again. If it doesn't work, then it's like, okay, I won't waste my time. And then just kind of go from there. You know how to move from there. It's probably gonna be it's just a matter of communication between the pros, which they do usually. So yeah. Yo, what's up? We Create Music TV. Welcome to the stream. Boy Wonder says, I wish Logic Pro would come to Windows, but that's never gonna happen. Yo, you're trying. Well, I'm not gonna knock that, because Apple, you remember when, I don't know if they still have it, but you remember when the MacBook Pros, they had dual boot, where you could have Windows on one partition and you can have MacOS on the other partition. So it's not entirely insane. Logic Pro on Windows would be weird coming from somebody who's been using Apple for a while, but yeah, that would be interesting. Logic Pro on Windows. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I want, like, so do you not like Apple computers? You like Logic, but you don't like Apple? Is that the thing? Or you just prefer the Windows operating system, or the PC hardware? Yo, I'm ready for the Grindhouse Killer Burgers. Never had it, but the name just sounds crazy. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. That is gonna be fun. Yeah, so I have this love-hate relationship with Apple, and so I was using the iBook back in 2005. So I've been using a Mac since 2005, and I've been loving it. Yeah, it's been great. Using GarageBand, using Logic Pro, using the Mac OS. It's been super dope. And then the last 5 to 7 years, I feel like they just forgot about us pro users, like pro audio, pro video. I think they're getting back to it, but yeah, it just became it started becoming popular and just for everyday people who didn't really need the specs that we need when we're dealing with these massive CPU and memory heavy software instruments and DAWs and all that stuff and video editing. But yeah. And then like my thing is like you can get the newest MacBook Pro. And then a few years down the line, you either have to upgrade to a completely just new MacBook Pro because they've pretty much forced your hand to do something different because the software starts acting stupid, doesn't work. Then you have to upgrade. And then you can't like install, like they took away the ability to install your own RAM and things like that, hard drives. They just made it impossible. Like now the new, I want to say, when did it start? Like in 2016, because I'm certified, Apple certified to like work on Apple hardware too. So 2016 they came out with, I think it was 2016. They came out with this contraption to open the bottom case because they didn't want people just opening it up and swapping stuff out. So they just lock that joint down and they make it super, super difficult to get inside them. Which, I mean, I get it to some extent, but if your stuff is like out of warranty, out of Apple Care, and you want to upgrade it, like they make it hard to do it. So that kind of annoys me. Their desktops have gotten better, like the Mac Pro, but they just weren't powerful, like they weren't pro machines for a while. So then I built the Hackintosh, and that was like the best solution for me, because then I can put what I want in the machine and still run the Mac OS, the way I wanted to run it. So that was my workaround, but I still love the Mac ecosystem, the iPhone, the iPad, even my Hackintosh, like all of it just works seamlessly. Like when I'm transferring files and things like that, it just works. So it's just so smooth, man, and easy. Like Windows is just like certain things, it's just complicated for no reason. But then it's certain things on Apple, like when you need something to be complicated, it's like hidden or non-existent on macOS. So that's kind of my gripe about that. Boy Wonder says, I prefer Windows OS. I'm not a fan of Apple. Not saying that it's not good. Heard it causes pains when they update the OS. It absolutely does. That's why, like, I rarely update. Like, unless unless I'm forced to, like when something's not working right, like it's either has to be Logic. Mainly it's Logic. If Logic isn't working right, then I have to upgrade. Logic, Final Cut Pro, Pro Tools. Like, I mean, I can work around if Pro Tools is not working. It's a pain. Like if I'm cutting vocals, I hate cutting vocals in Logic. It's just weird for whatever reason. But I can work around it. But yeah, if those main joints ain't working, then I have to upgrade. We create, you got the love-hate relationship too, man. It's what it is. Yeah. After 2012, man, it started going downhill. I lost a cup, man. Yeah, my last MacBook Pro, I stretched it as long as I could. I had a couple LCD replacements on that thing, and yeah, finally it just got to a point where it's just like I need another computer. My only iPad Pro reservation would be how long till all the other software companies make iOS versions of their plugins. Oh yeah. I need that, man. Like I need that too. Like I need some more of these mainstream plugins, audio plugins. Even some VSTs would be dope. Like I need some iOS or iPad OS or something. that would definitely bring everything full circle to me. Like, honestly, I would probably be I would yeah, I need that. I just need that. Like, I was gonna say, like, I would be cool. I could make certain things, like I can make Beatmaker work if I had some, and I mean Beatmaker has some cool plugins, but like if it just had some stuff that I'm familiar with or that I can easily transfer from my main computer to the iPad or vice versa, to where like if I started a session on the iPad and say I wanted to finish it on the computer, like those same plugins would be available if there's a way they can figure that out. That would be dope. Something, but yeah, but like something's in the works, right? Because in the history of the iPad, they've never highlighted RAM in the iPad. Because it's like they highlighted on all the computers, but never on the iPad. Because like honestly, like what do you need a bunch of RAM for on the iPad? Like you running apps and like you don't need a lot of memory for the stuff that's on the iPad. Like even now, like you don't need that much memory. I think the last generation iPad had 6 gigs, and that was plenty. Like honestly, my iPad now is faster than my what is that? I got a late 2008 MacBook, and it's faster than that thing on 6 gigs. I have at least 8. I have either 8 or 16 on that. I don't know how many. It's 8 or 16 on the MacBook. I think it's 16. But yeah, and that thing it blows the 2008 out the water. So I don't know. I feel like they highlighted. I completely went somewhere else, but they highlighted 16 gigs of RAM on the iPad Pro this year during the Apple event. And it's like listed like as a legit spec on the website, and they've never done that. So I feel like at WWDC they're gonna I think we'll hear like some announcements about some stuff that they gonna do, because if you're gonna put that kind of power in it, like there has to be a reason. Like you have to use it. You just can't put it in there and just let it sit there doing nothing. So we're gonna see what happens. We Create Music is actually thinking about building another Hackintosh. Yeah, man. Like the Hackintosh world is different. It's different. Like it's cool. I love it. Updates can be weird, and just some things to where like if you do one thing wrong, like your whole joint just won't work. It won't turn on. It happened to me like last week. I restarted the computer, and for whatever reason, like that joint would not start back up, and I had to let it sit there. So I don't know. Like if you download a file, like an update file, and then you restart and you don't delete that update file after it runs it, it'll keep trying to boot from that file. So you have to like take it off of your system altogether. So it's like little weird things that you got to look out for. And then you got to make sure the parts are compatible. Sometimes on updates you'll lose compatibility. I had to change my GPU out because when Mac switched over, they no longer had, what was it? I forget. They didn't have support for like a bunch of the GPUs, so I had to switch that over. I think it was GeForce, but yeah, so I had to switch over to AMD. But just retarded stuff, man, like that. Charles Jefferson, what's good? Do you know any ways to promote your TV formatted beats for placements outside of submissions? Do you know any ways to promote your TV formatted beats for placements outside of submissions? Not really. I mean, I think that's just a part of the process. you're either submitting through a company, unless you already have a relationship established with the company. Then you kind of have to go through that submission process. Everything is there's a submission for everything, really. Like, even when I get briefs, like, I have to submit for that brief and make sure it's approved. So yeah, like, I think that's just a part of the game, really. You either know somebody, you have a direct relationship, and then even then you're submitting to them, right? So you still have to wait and get approval from somebody, no matter which route you go. It's just a part of the process, really. So shout out to everybody, man, joining in. If you guys don't know, it's a live Q&A. I was rambling about Apple stuff for a minute, but that's what we do. We geek out about Apple tech, producer tech, Windows, PC, Mac, whatever. We just talk about what we use, but let me know where y'all from and what y'all do, and then just hop in. If y'all got questions, we talking about business, licensing, and production, and just a bunch of producer, artist, songwriter stuff. Boy Wonder says, any advice on using loops in submissions? Make sure they're not loops that are like used a lot, like popular loops. For example, certain websites that start with an S and end with an E, where a lot of producers are like pulling loops off of them and then not really manipulating them to make them sound super original. Those can kind of, not saying it's a bad thing, but it can cause confusion into who owns the work, and you could kind of get tangled up in some things using those kind of loops. So that's why I provide loops to producers and sound packs, because I'm not as big as Splice. So you're not gonna find these loops all over the internet and like a ton of producers using them, and things like that. And they're 100% royalty free, which means I'm not gonna come chasing after you for royalties and things like that. So you can just use them, spark inspiration, beef up, add those keys and progressions and soulful chords and things like that to your beats, and not have to worry about it, man. So yeah, that would be my advice on loops. Make them as original as possible. Reverse, time warp, like, just do whatever you got to do to make that joint unrecognizable from the crowd. Hypnosis Beats was good. He said IG algorithm is whack nowadays. Man, dude, everybody be trying to figure it out. I just got to a point now where I was like, whatever, man. Just either the post does good or it doesn't. Some of them do good, some of them suck and flop. And I'm just like, all right, we'll try it. We'll try it next time. It's yeah, man. But they're just trying to get their ad money at the end of the day. Because if you see your post isn't getting seen and engagement, because they only show it to like a certain percentage, like when you first post it, and if that first certain percentage, small percentage, don't engage and start liking and commenting, then they're just like, yeah, we're not gonna show this to the rest of your followers, which sucks. But yeah, they want you to spend that ad money. Big business. So yeah, that's what it's all about. Alavon says, after my dinosaur E-machine, man, E-machines, I remember those. After my dinosaur E-machines Windows laptop was virally destroyed and I lost everything back in 2005, I've been issue free with Apple ever since. Apple game. Yo, I have not had any issues on an Apple. Like the worst that has happened was like my LCD going bad on one of my MacBooks. But that was about it, man. Like as far as like viruses and stuff, Never had an issue on a Mac. So yeah, I love that, man. PCs, man, like my wife had this little PC laptop. It's like sitting in this case over here. Like nobody, I don't even know why we have it still. Like it's just there, but that joint is so slow. Like it's just all these pop-ups. I can't with the Windows, man. It's too easily accessible. Yeah. What's up, KO? No doubt, man. I'm here. I'm answering questions. If y'all got questions, let me know. I'm here to answer. No doubt, Charles. LW says, what made you move to Atlanta, and is that the best opportunities for music? Why did I want to move to Atlanta? So let's go back. After I graduated college, right? It was like I had to make a decision. I didn't know what I was going to do. Like I was about to graduate, and pretty much I had 3 options. I can move back home, that which really wasn't an option. Wasn't trying to do that. I could stay where I was, which I did for a year, or I could move and just, pursue my dream to be a music producer. So the original plan was actually to move to LA, because I visited LA while I was in college. Loved it, at least while I was there. Looking back, hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because I hate traffic, and I've gotten a taste of that here in Atlanta, and in LA. LA's traffic is, like we talking like a very, very long time. Like a 15-minute drive is like, it took us like an hour and a half. Like it's crazy. But the original goal was to move to LA. I was gonna save up and then just make the move. Didn't happen. My bread wasn't stacking how it was stacking in my mind. Like it just didn't work. So while I was still working through the summer and saving up, I had came across one of my guys through on Ustream. My guy Scrap, and I was just vibing out, creating some tracks. He was like, "Yo, like this sounds like this could be like a Music Soul Child joint." So we started collaborating. I finished the track, sent it to him. So then he started writing to it. So like literally, like we're collabing on this record, like online, legit. So that started moving forward. Like it moved to the point where Music Soul Child cut the record. So at that point, I was just like, okay, obviously I'm at a certain level to where, we can do this professionally now. We kind of had the proof of concept. So now it's like, okay, do I stay here, or, do I go somewhere where opportunities like this are jumping off? And that's when I made the decision that instead of spending all this bread and trying to go to LA, where you're going to be paying like a lot of money just to stay in the hood, I can save more money moving to Atlanta and still be in a city that has, a decent music scene and entrepreneur scene. So I moved to Atlanta, and it's been dope. Do you have to move for opportunities? No, because we have the internet, right? And it depends on what you're trying to do. Now, when you're in a city where there are a lot of music opportunities, there's a lot of studios, there's a lot of people going in and out of those studios. There's a lot of opportunity to meet people in those places, depending on what you're trying to do, especially, industry wise and major artist wise. So yes, you'll have access to that. But it just depends on what you're trying to do. It just depends. If you're trying to do TV and film stuff, obviously you can kind of do that anywhere. But then I feel like there's also a mentality as well with people down here. I think it's dope for like black entrepreneurs specifically, because it's like a lot of them here, and like everybody down here like doing their thing, and it causes you to like step your game up and do your thing. So being surrounded around that, being surrounded around not even just entrepreneurs, but man, like black doctors, lawyers, accountants, like engineers, like IT, like it's super dope to just see people doing super dope things. So that's why I love Atlanta. That's why I stayed, because I like to be surrounded around like-minded individuals who are trying to move forward and progress the culture in various ways, in just in business and entrepreneurship, and just in life in general. So yeah, that's why I'm here in the A. It's dope. What's up, James McGregor? Thanks for the live chat. Do you mix and master your own tracks and for submission? And if so, what's your go? Yes, I do. I mix and master all of my stuff. And yeah, shoot, I don't know. Like, it's not super complicated. Like, just like 3 plugins I use on my master track. I don't use a whole bunch of plugins on the individual tracks. I'll have a compressor, I'll have an EQ, maybe a filter or some other stuff just for color or effect, and that's it. Like, I don't do a whole lot. It just depends on what's going on. I think the main thing for me is just making sure I pick high quality sounds and samples, and making sure stuff sounds solid from the jump, versus trying to go in. Like, when I first started, I was layering like 4 or 5 snares and kicks, trying to get the kick to sound right. And then I don't know, like after a while I was just like, yo, why am I working so hard? Like, just find better samples, find a better kick. So now I use 1 kick, 1 snare. Sometimes I'll stack 2 snares or something like that. But yeah, it's just the higher quality samples you can get, the less work you have to do, and the easier it is to mix. It's way easier to mix 1 kick than 4 different kicks. So that's my approach. Go-to plugins is a combination of Waves and Slate Digital. And then what else? Lately I've been using some stuff from Plugin Alliance as well. Some dope stuff. Some an SSL and they have a Neve too that sounds pretty good. So yeah, that's what I'm using. Do you know if submitting to Tyler Perry Studios is hard? No. So I've been in some movies and TV shows as well. Fun fact, I am an Anchorman too. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but I am an Anchorman too, with an afro, dressed in 70s attire. It's the dinner scene. So it was me, a few other people, Megan Good, Will Ferrell, and a lot of food, which we never stopped eating that whole night. It was kind of delicious, to be honest with you. But so the easiest way to kind of get into that whole thing as an actor anyways is through casting companies. There's a few of them here in Atlanta. So you do a search for casting companies. You can kind of get in that way, because some of them cast for Tyler Perry Studios as well. On the music side of things, I haven't worked with anybody as of yet on the music side of things, because I know he has a team of people that they go to frequently, and it's a close circle. I know. I think I may know one guy that I recently met. I think like we were on a panel together. But yeah, usually it's kind of like they have their people and they like to work with those people. Everything is kind of in-house. So that goes back to relationships. Building relationships, having relationships already established. So then when certain projects come up, you come to mind because, or simply people just pull you in because you have a relationship. So yeah, I don't have a relationship with somebody at Tyler Perry Studios yet. We got to make that happen. But yeah, I've been to the studio though. It's super dope. Like the joint is massive. Like you go through the front gate, and then it's just like a bunch. Because it used to be an Air Force base, so like you drive through. There's like security sections of it, but then you drive through. It's like whole neighborhoods like that they use for sets. Then he has a parking garage with like all of these cars. You got Bentleys, Range Rovers, all of these dope cars sitting in the garage that they use for for the films as well. So it was really cool to see. Super inspiring, man. Dude's a beast. Like his story is just crazy. I heard DJ Ghost say he made about 5 cents per view on YouTube. 500,000 views would be a lot. 25 racks. Have you landed any placements in any YouTube content that has paid out nicely from ads? No, I haven't yet. But that's another approach as well. Back like years ago when I first got started in sync, I did go through a time where I reached out to like YouTube influencers. I think I got a hold of like one. But yeah, you can reach out to like influencers and be like, yo, I have a bunch of, royalty free music you can use. You won't get copyright strikes or whatever. And you can strike a deal with them directly and then just send them a folder of music. But you'll have to make sure like you're not sending that music to other publishers, because if they, for whatever reason, like upload your stuff in some content ID system, then they're gonna start getting they're gonna start getting those those notices. So just be mindful of that. But that's another lane. It's another approach as well. It's called microsync. Yo, yeah, I'm not gonna try and say that. I am super productive and creative. How do I sell these tracks? Man, you got we just talked about YouTube. You can try and pitch them to artists. You can try and pitch them to TV and film. I love TV and film, obviously. That's kind of what I do. So yeah, if you want to learn more about how to get started in pitching your music in TV and film, just download this free 6-step guide, and it'll give you an overview of the process, what that looks like, and put that music to work. It's got to make money for you. Zombie One, what's good, Zombie One? I'm trying to become an official voiceover guy for Jordan Peele's movie and do sound design along with scores. What would I use to protect myself on voiceovers and sound design? Sounds like copyright. It's audio. It's intellectual property. So, the best answer is talk to an attorney, entertainment attorney, because they'll know the specifics on like voiceover. But it sounds like a sound recording, a sound recording copyright. As far as the sound design, like I don't know, there may be some other things involved. But yeah, just talk to an attorney. Find one local that you can talk to. Treat them to lunch, whatever. Some of them they'll answer your questions. But yeah, you definitely want professional advice on that. Uh, so you're sure you're making the right moves at the right time. So that's important. That's what I'm confused about, because DistroKid has that option to upload tracks to YouTube and TikTok. Wondering how the collection is done if your music is used. So I know when they upload on YouTube, they like upload your song to YouTube with the like kind of like an artist page or whatever. And then TikTok, it makes it available for people to do TikToks. But I think they just collect the royalties for you, like from that stuff. Like that would be a part of what DistroKid collects. I have to look at that because I get statements from DistroKid. I have to check that out. As far as the details, I know I ain't got people on TikTok using my beats like that, but it'll be interesting to see. Wes, what's good, Wes Laycock? Do libraries usually have a problem with you uploading to Spotify, or will uploading your music to Spotify hurt your chances of landing exclusive deals? You have to ask the library, just to be sure. I don't see why they would have a problem with your music being on Spotify, but ask them, because it's really just gonna depend on, I guess, how that deal is structured. But I feel like it all works together in the big scheme of things. Because if you get a placement on the show, people hear it, they like it. Oh shoot, like who is this? And they want to look you up, find your music or something like that. Could be a good opportunity. But like specifically for artists, like if you have like your song featured on something, it could be a good opportunity to get your fan base up, get your streams up, things like that. But yeah, just ask the library you're working with. Be like, yo, is it cool if I release this joint on Spotify for streaming so I can make more money? See what they say. Ed, what's good, Ed? How many songs are you writing a day, a week, a month? With lyrics, no lyrics? My understanding about sync is that it's a numbers game. So I recently shot a video on this specific question, and there's no answer to it because it's different for everybody. And then there's no like number to say like you have to write this amount of songs a day, a week, a month to be successful in sync. Because you could write 100 songs a month and be trash. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you could just write 100 trash songs and it just not be syncable. Or you could write 3 songs and all of them are amazingly syncable songs, and then you start landing commercials, like 6-figure commercials, 5-figure commercials, and then you're good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no set number. Like I wish it was, but it's just not, like how many can you do a day? How many can you do a week, a month? It's up to you. Like it doesn't matter how many tracks I do. I could do like 1 track a month. You know what I'm saying? Just working on a specific project. It doesn't matter. Like how many can you do? And then max, like just do as many as you can do. Like that's what's important. Do as many tracks as you can do in the time that you have to do them. And yes, it is a numbers game. So you want to do as many as you can without sacrificing the quality of those tracks. But yeah, it's just really about how much you can do. Because there's no number, man. I know for every composer I know, like that number is gonna vary from week to week, from month to month. So yeah. Marketing. Yeah, marketing is tough. That's the part as creatives that like creatives don't want to do. But this would be my advice, marketing advice for creative people. Like, because we can, like, I know me personally, I can sit and watch, a bunch of producer videos and producer podcasts and tutorials and all of that stuff is cool. But if you put that same energy into marketing content, start watching marketing videos, start listening to the marketing gurus, start listening to marketing podcasts, and then what you do is you start applying those concepts to what you do. Because no matter what you do, no matter what the product is, marketing is marketing. Like, there's just things in marketing that work across every business, across every product. Our product is music, but it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things in marketing will work with music. It'll work with digital products. It'll work with physical products. It'll work with services. So I would say start digging in and start learning and following people who specialize in marketing, because that honestly, like, that's what takes your business to the next level as a producer, is getting that stuff on lock. And you can, if you have a budget, you can hire somebody to do it for you if you don't want to spend time doing it. If you don't have a budget, then you probably just gonna have to dig in and start learning that stuff, some of that stuff yourself, to start moving things forward. But it's crucial in every business. You can have the greatest music in the world, but if nobody knows about it, nobody knows about it. So you got to figure out how to get that stuff in front of people. Excuse me. No doubt, Wes. LW says, if someone wants to play music on a website, like an instrumental background, is that a one-time fee or royalties come from that? Sorry, new to this stuff. I think that depends too. Depends on the deal. Like, I think stuff like that, a lot of times it's kind of like a one-time fee, but it really depends on how things are set up. Like, if you did you could do an agreement with somebody directly and say, you can use this. You can kind of approach it like just a license. You can do like a yearly license and say it's gonna cost this amount a year to have this music playing on the background of your website, and then every year they can come back and renew that license. Or it can just be a one-time fee, like, kick me $500, and then you can use it for however long you want to. So just depends on how you want to structure it. There's no one way, one rule to things like that. It just depends on what you all agree on. That's a good question though. That's something like a lot of people don't think about. Music on websites. I was talking. I had lunch with a friend today, and we were talking about hold music. Like, when you're on the phone, somebody puts you on hold, and you hear those same like 3 hold tunes like that. Yeah. So we were wondering, like, are they getting royalties for that? Was it just a one-time fee? What is that? So I decided I'm gonna look into it and figure it out, because I'm curious. Because if you get royalties from that, like, this one tune specifically that I hear all the time, it's annoying too, but hey, they getting paid. If they're getting royalties. So I'm curious about that personally. The hold music, how is that set up? Or is it just a service? Is it like I don't know, a monthly subscription thing, and then all the composers get a piece of the subscription fees. I don't know, but it's a lot of opportunities out here, man. You just gotta think outside the box. You got whole music, you got retail, restaurant, shopping mall. You got the TV and film stuff, obviously. You got apps, video games. You have trailers, movie trailers, TV show trailers. You have infomercials. What else we got? Where else do you hear music? YouTube. Everybody on YouTube uses music. They need music. Commercials, brands need music. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out here. Prime the producer, making music for TV. Is there a selection of TV networks you can submit to? I wanted to submit to Adult Swim, being that my strong side is lo-fi beats. So usually it's not like, it's not really, I mean, I guess it depends, because some like Viacom, I know they have like a whole network, and then once you get ingested in there, then your music is opened up to like all of Viacom, CBS's channels and things like that. But like a lot of times there are certain music supervisors or music licensing companies working on different shows and projects and, you know, things like that on the various networks. So it's not like one person like over everything. So my advice would be, I don't know, find one of your shows or whatever on Adult Swim and start looking at the credits in the music department. See if you can track somebody down that way. See if that person's associated with a music licensing company. Then reach out to the music licensing company. And yeah, kind of go from there. And just make sure your music is ready. Make sure you know what that structure needs to be like. Make sure you know what you need included in the metadata of your music and how to prepare that, different things like that. So if you don't know any of that, again, that 6-step guide is there as a resource, so you can see those steps. And then if you want to take it another step, my blueprint, the road to 10 placements, it's everything I did to start getting my first 10 TV placements in a little over a year. So that's available as well. Crazy price. But yeah, I pretty much just documented everything I did to do that. Yo, this right here. I wonder what a royalty check from the band that played all the Cosby Show themes and cues look like. So I don't know about the band. I would say specifically the composer of those joints, because a lot of times, like, you can, like, as a composer, I can hire a band and then just give them work for hire agreements to play the music that I wrote or had in mind. So if that's the case, the band ain't getting nothing. Like, they ain't getting nothing else if it was a work for hire agreement. But the composer, yeah, like, nah, like something like that, you're set. Like, your kids are set. Like, that joint just keeps on giving. You get a theme show like that, and something that's just been syndicated like for decades. Yeah, nah, that's dope. I definitely want a theme song, man. And it's like, it's funny because I'm sure they didn't know, like, they probably got the brief and was working on the show, got the call or whatever, but didn't know that the show was gonna be what it was, and what it is. Like, it's crazy. Cause you never know which one will be that show, which one will be that project that'll just live forever. So I'm sure it's dope. Last question. There's no last question. We just keep asking questions until this joint stops. The question is, would you rather stay independent running your own business or join a large company if they offered a great deal? I don't know. I love my independence. The deal would have to make sense in regards to ownership, because that's super important. It's got to make sense. It has to be something that I need, like that I can't do on my own. It would just have to be, the joint would have to make sense for me to because I like the freedom of doing what I want to do, but I also understand the benefits of partnering up with a bigger company, a larger company. And I mean, honestly, in a sense, when we do these licensing deals, that's what we're doing. We're just partnering up with people, with larger companies who have more relationships. That's why, you get a publisher. A music licensing company is a publisher. So we partner up with them and leverage their relationships because they have more relationships than we do. And then we can just focus on the music. So in a way, we're kind of already doing that, and still being able to be independent and work with whatever companies we want to work with. So that, like, in that regard, I love doing that, because I'm still free to do other stuff. Like if I wanted to do like some major artist stuff, like I'm not tied down to one company and a bunch of stipulations and on the line for a bunch of money and stuff like that, or trying to recoup, recoup a big advance. I'm just not interested in that. 20 years, like, yo, that, yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Exactly. Have you found that library submissions lie dormant and need to be reused at a later time, or do you devote those tracks to those libraries for life and move on? So you never know, right? Like, so say I submit something, it gets accepted. It may not get used right away, but like I have tracks that I did like 5+ years ago that just circled around and like started getting used. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just a part of the game. Like you're gonna submit some, they probably won't get used right away, but then once they start getting used, especially like on sports shows, like college football, March Madness, NCAA, or I said football, college basketball, all those networks like TNT, once they start using the track, like, yo, they go back and use the same tracks over and over and over and over again. So once it starts, it's pretty cool, but you just never know. Sometimes it takes a few years for stuff to start moving. Once I submit it, I usually don't really worry about it after that and just let it be. That's where it's gonna be, unless unless there's like a situation where it's just like, yo, I'm about to pull everything out of here and send it over here. Unless it's like a situation like that, I really don't worry about it too much. So yeah, as long as they're putting it to work, man, I don't have many complaints. Sticky, what are some companies you're looking to work with, and how should we go about starting that relationship? So download this free step guide. After you download the free step guide, grab the Road to 10 Placements course. I include a few companies that you can start out with, so you can use those. And then in that course, it also shows you how to go about reaching out to them. And usually, like, I don't start off by sending music, like, ever. I always just kind of introduce myself, what I do first. But I go into a little detail about that. But yeah, that's how you get started. But like, you have the free licensing directory that comes with that. But use Google. Like, just Google music libraries, and you can find them, because it's like so many of them. And I know I didn't list them all, but there's some in there that at least you can start, and you'll start to know what to look for based on the companies that I give you in the directory, and you'll kind of get used to kind of, checking them out, seeing what they look like, and doing your research from there. So that would be my advice if you're trying to get started. Also, if you've never done this, you should also add the how to structure instrumentals for TV, if you're a producer, obviously, because instrumental cues for TV are structured a certain way. There's not like just one structure like for everything. Like, there's different structures that work, but I give you one that I personally use, and that I've used to get, my first 10 TV placements all the way up to now. Like, I still use this same structure, and it just works. So whenever something works, I keep using it until it doesn't. Like, sometimes I'll switch some things up where I may start with the hook or something like that, and then go into the verse. But for the most part, all those elements that I explained in that video course are elements that work in TV and film. So yeah, definitely grab that if you're starting out, because what you don't want to do is start out and not know any of this stuff like me, and then waste like 5 years like trying to figure it out. It takes too long. Who wants to wait 5 years to bump their head and make a bunch of mistakes and then you end up just being like, nah, I'm gonna stop. I don't want you to stop. I want you to have everything you need to get started and know what to look for, so you can get where you're trying to go way faster than it took me. So yeah, definitely grab that. So look, I've been on for about 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I know you guys don't want me to go. I don't want to leave, but I have to. I got some other things I got to get done. But this was dope, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, and appreciate the questions, man. Y'all always come with the dopest questions. And yeah, man, I'm gonna be back next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna do another Q&A, and then next Friday, y'all let me know in the chat if y'all want to do another live song review next Friday. If I get some comments in the chat and some thumbs ups, then we'll do a live song review for TV and film. See if your song is ready, if your beat is ready for TV and film. We can do another one next Friday if y'all want to rock with me. So just let me know. I see some thumbs ups. That's weird to say, thumbs ups. Tracy Brown with the thumbs. All right, we may have to make it happen. LW said, yes, do it or I'm never watching again. Yo, man, savage. It's crazy. All right, we may have to make it happen, or we're gonna start losing viewers out here. So yeah, so look, listen, if you guys want to know how to submit for the next live, when we'll do it Friday 7:30, same time. We'll do the live song and beat reviews. But download the free 6-step guide so you'll be on my email list. Once you're on my email list, I'll send you the details next Thursday on how to submit. Only doing one song or one beat per person, so we can try and get through as many as possible. And then I'll have all the instructions outlined there. So download the free six-step guide. That'll get you on my email list. You don't have to get the course if you don't want to after that, but that'll at least get you on my email list so you can get the instructions on how to submit. And then we play it in a first come, first serve basis. So yeah, after you get those instructions, submit as early as possible. so you can have a higher chance of getting placed. You can skip the line if you want, but that's like $25 super chat to skip the line. So if you don't want to pay $25 and to get those submissions in ASAP. All right, y'all. So I'm out, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.